Reach on down and touch your toes. How long since you looked at those? Like, it's just, as a kid that was 6 watching this in 1991, it made no sense. But now as a 38-year-old, I'm like, how long has it been since I've seen my toes? Let alone touch them. Rufio.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the hair, you have the outfit, you have sweet swordsmanship. Like, he's just so, the trash talk. Like, he is so freaking cool.
Did you go as far as like wanting to adopt that hairstyle, a belly button shirt, the cutoff vest, things like that?
There was something about like a badass teenage character wearing a belly button shirt like that. You just like at the time was sick and super cool.
Not me, dude. That's like my Achilles heel. I'm not showing my belly button. Like, I'll go to the pool and I'll have a piece of duct tape covering just my belly button. That's my weakness.
Boil dripping, beef fart sniffing, bubble butt.
I think he calls him a hemorrhoidal suck navel. At one point, you're like, what? What is that? And I like that the responses of Robin, he's like, substitute chemistry teacher.
Yeah.
He's like, math tutor.
Nearsighted kind of college.
Prison
My
bumper.
dad's a kind of college.
And he looks at vaginas all day long.
You know that those were improvised. Like, you know that Robin was making those up on the spot.
That's a paramecium. It's a one-cell critter with no brain that can't fly. Don't mess with me, man. I'm a lawyer.
I can say right now, Dustin Hoffman as Hook is absolute masterclass. He's commanding, he's terrifying, and just so damn funny at different parts in the movie too. And I think no matter how many happy thoughts you have, nobody is soaring higher than the bar that was set by Dustin Hoffman as Hook. Like, he is unprecedented. And I feel like you can have so many other movies that, like, we had Hugh Jackman in a version of Peter Pan that was Hook. We now have Jude Law in a version of Peter Pan as Hook. Great actors. I love both of them, but neither of them are Dustin Hoffman.
And who didn't believe I could do it? Who doubted me?
Hook is commanding. Hook is terrifying. Hook is the rule maker. If anybody doubts him, even if it's Glenn Close, you're going in the boo box. But then behind closed doors, he's got the biggest imposter syndrome ever.
Right.
That he thinks that death is coming for him. Death's the only adventure he has left.
You call this no adventure?
Death is the only great adventure I have left, Smee.
Come on, let's get you into bed.
And I like that Shmee is his anchor, that Shmee has to pull him back down to reality and be like, no, what would the world be like without Captain Hook? And he's like, I like that he's a hype man outside on the ship and behind closed doors in the ship. Like, they're a great pairing.
So I wrote down a line he had. He's like, he's Peter Pan, or I've got a dead man's ding ding. And I just die hearing that every time.
What is that, an apostrophe?
I think you mean an epiphany.
I think that the way that they depicted Tinkerbell in this is also very cool and also very shocking to have such an A-list celebrity in a role where she's never there with the people. Like, she's just on a miniaturized sound stage, you know?
They didn't use the Honey, I Shrunk the technology for this?
Yeah, they got Rick
You
Moranis
ruined
to do it.
I, for this so long, I thought they shrunk her down.
I don't believe this.
And he breaks the watch, and then he slowly but surely, it goes from being this funny kid thing to then him looking in the reflection of these clocks and saying, you were never there for me. Breaks that time. You know, your promises mean nothing. Smash. And it's just like, it's really weird because, like, when you watch it as a kid, don't understand it as a 6-year-old. You watch it now as an adult and you're like, he's literally destroying the moments in time where his dad hurt him.
Yeah.
Like, that's a deep scene. Like, and it's impressive to me that Steven Spielberg put that in a kid's movie. For me to understand now as a 38-year-old and just be like, hey, Steve, whenever you want to sit down and talk about dad issues, we can go ahead and do it.
Now it's time to be whatever you want to be.
How does the scene hit you when he discovers that his happy thought is being a father?
Oh, man, that was just very powerful and very cool, and something I did not notice until rewatching it as a dad. Like, it showed you can still have whimsy and fun and love and be an adult. And I thought that was pretty amazing. Mine would not be my kids. It'd be my PS5. But just kidding. What would your happy thought be for flying to get you off the ground?
It'd be my wife.
Yeah.
And that's not for brownie points. Like it would be my wife, Stacy. Like I feel like
she doesn't listen to this. So she's never gonna hear it.
My dad. Peter Pan.
And we all know he was drinking. And he was drunk all up until that point. He was standing on that balcony and woke up in the courtyard that was below the balcony after it. And even Hook at the end of the movie, he makes reference to like when he's holding Pan down next to like the sword sharpener with his hook.
Right.
He says, "You know this is all a dream, right? You're just a sad old man who hides from your children and your wife. And you're going to wake up in your bed and realize that that's your reality." But when you go back and rewatch it, there's a lot in there that makes you wonder, is he just drunk in a courtyard overnight in London?
Well, anyone listening, we all just now felt like it was to be put in the boo box. So thank you for that. How do you explain Mr. Toodles just floating out into the ether? Huh? What do you got for that, Mr. Conspiracy Theory?
That's true.